All right. Good morning, all. This is what we intended to discuss today. We want to have a good understanding on the Xamarin UI and the code behind, and then the arrangement or the organization of the project based on MBPM, and maybe discuss the I command. Okay. Let's start by creating a project. Um, let's create a project. See. Okay. I'm going to store the project in the folder where my project, Xamarin projects are, and I've selected and click on OK. All right. I'm going to select blank project. That's project which doesn't have anything aside the ready-made codes from the Xamarin. So project has opened. This is our project, and we need to understand this project structure because that's what we are going to discuss actually when it comes to the discussion on the MBVM. But for now, this is our project, and this is our folders. We all know this, right? Yes, we all know this. This is the project folder. This is the shared folder for the whole two projects, and this is the folder for the Android project, and this is for the folder for the iOS, and this is the name of the solution. That is the project. Understanding UI project, for example. So now, if you select to run this project as it is, let's run it on our emulator. Before it runs, let's discuss these files. One, we have main page. All right. This main page, this is a XAMPP file, and inside it we have another file which is the main page.xampp.cs. Okay. So the .cs is what is actually kept inside view model. Please understand this before we start creating the folders. While the .xampp is what is kept inside the view. We are going to discuss model and the services later. Because for you to understand this binding, actually without you understanding binding, you can't develop in Xamarin. You can't develop well. You cannot be you cannot be productive. Your productivity will be somehow very less because you have to be writing too much of code. But let's understand these things first before we discuss on the binding. There are some things we need to understand right from the UI, that is from the XAMPP. Please, you should be informed that while creating Xamarin UI, you can use either the XAMPP, you can use the XAMPP file or the C#. You can use these two codes, either the XAMPP code or the C# code. If I want to create a button, I can create it using either C# code or the XAMPP code. But I know the one we're familiar with is the XAMPP code. So that's why I said let's understand the UI and let's understand how we get information from the UI into the C.cs, which is where our logic, business logic is going to be centered around, which is the view model. Okay, if you understand, anyway, we're going to discuss model view. It's like the way we discuss it in other technologies. We say MVC, model view controller, but here we call it MVVM. So the VM is the controller over there. That is where the view and the model are matched together to produce something. That's a view. We'll discuss it later. Let's have our project run first, then we'll do that. Uh, uh, this is the XAMPP file, and when it's run, you see what it is. But I guess everyone knows what this XAMPP is all about. Let me remove this label. We don't need these labels. We don't need all this. But let it run first. I'm running from a part emulator. I think that's why it's taking time. Uh, and I would have started it before even starting this. That would have lessened the time it takes to run. Let it run because I want us to understand what really, while it is running, uh, we know that our interface comprises of entry, is it not? Yes. Buttons, right?
Text box.
What?
Text box.
Text box. But text box is the entry. Here we don't say text box. Yes. What? What is
Box view. Box view.
box view? Yes. Box view, that is a view. Of course, it's part of it. Level, thank you. I needed things that are the real controls, not the layout. Then we also have editor. If you need something like text area, then you use editor. So we have editor. No, sir, good morning. We have editor. Okay. Then we have also what? Many of them. There are many. We have select items. All these we're going to discuss them. Um, so all these things you can use XAMPP to create them on the page, and you can also use C# codes to create. Well, it's like the emulator is having problems. Most likely, I have to do something here. Okay, let me try to kind of troubleshoot it. This will take time. Let me stop the video so we start it later.